enjoyed the event. Tune in to the Fightlete Report Show.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us on the most action-packed 2 hours on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Latina Epicina.
Hey.
My name is Motaz Oscar, and shout out to the Fightlete Report.
So tell us about this training for this fight. Obviously, we're going through a lot of difficult times now with this pandemic. Being prepared for your opponent, regardless, is going to be where you're at, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's been good. It's been kind of weird. It's just like the training's just been, it's better than it was for my last submission underground, just because restaurants and gyms and stuff have been opening up. Like everything's starting to open up. Like hospitals are starting to open up out here. So everything's starting to kind of open up. So that's nice. And getting the opportunity to go train and work out and stuff. So I feel a lot better compared to last time. Last time it was like, I was scratching on everybody's face just to get a workout, and now it's like everyone's all good to come in and work out. So that's nice. That's good to get.
It's good. And then the last card you competed at was actually during this pandemic in April, right?
Yeah.
It was like right around the time UFC was supposed to happen. So how fortunate did you feel that you guys were, because UFC actually didn't have their event and you were able to still perform for Submission Underground?
Yeah, it was cool. I wish I had more training for it. I don't have any excuses, but I was more just off the couch and just kind of went out there and did my thing. But, it's all good. It's whatever. It's life, So I'm just looking forward to this one, this grappling match, and just kind of making the best out of it and just seeing how it all goes and just trying to get the win, So it'll be fun, though. I'm excited. I think hopefully get some eyes. So, yeah.
Yes. Submission Underground, has some different rules, not as traditional as other grappling events. So inside the cage, and I know you're adapted well to that environment before, and talk about, you got the 8 minutes, and then it goes to sudden death overtime, and then you actually have to pick a position, right? From that ahead of on the scorecard, they get to pick the position they want to go at. So how did you feel like you adapted to those rules the first time?
Well, the first time I did it was like in 2016, I think, at the second one. So I've been used to it. And then they're the same people as combat jiu-jitsu or the same rule set as combat jiu-jitsu and EBI. So I just I more or less have been adapted to the rule set. It's just, you just got to realize there's no points. That's the main thing. You just got to go for the kill every time. So if you're good at doing that, you're fine. But if you struggle with submitting people, then it's probably not the best rule set for you, but I like this. I try to do all rule sets no matter what, just to see different styles, I guess. You get to see different ideas of how people go at it, different. Someone has a different style in the IBJJF rule set than they do at the EBI rule set. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I like to just go against whoever I can go and pretty much just do my thing, honestly. So I mean, I've adapted pretty well to it. It's just, no matter where I am, I just try to go to submit people. I don't really try to go for points. I don't really think about that. Even when I'm at a points tournament, I just try to go to tap, everybody out, really.
Right.
So
and definitely, that makes a lot of sense. And obviously, you've been successful 4-0. Do you feel like, competing at this level for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I mean, you're surrounding yourself with some great other competitors, you're training at the Nick Diaz Academy. So how much you feel like training there has really elevated your career and, change your thought process? Has it changed your thought process? Going hard with these guys who are really insane at BJJ.
Yeah, even just for fighting overall, it's kind of made me more of a mentality of like, I got to kill the person rather than just squeak by or anything like that. Anything in fighting, I even before I went there, I was finishing everybody. But in jiu-jitsu, it's giving me the mentality of like, I gotta just tap people out. That's the best way to win. Then there's nothing that can be just, disputed. So even when I go train, it's like, not only am I, one thing I've added a lot more was not only can I I just gotta fight. I gotta run, swim, bike, do all that stuff. So I've been running or doing any of that stuff every day just to stay in shape. Even when I'm not fighting, it's like, or got any matches, I'm still trying to put in hella miles, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's swimming, running, or biking. I'm just trying to put in all this stuff. So it's just the mentality's just been like, just keep. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's more of like a warrior's mentality. Like, you got to live by the sword and die by the sword, and I love that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think obviously with the Diaz brothers, their mentality is always keeping strong and always aggressive. Obviously in their fights, we see that. Every time they're stepping in, when their game face is on, their game face is on. But obviously, if you get to meet them outside of the cage, they're real nice gentlemen and very very respectable. So kind of like that switch they turn on and off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're good at that. They both are. Yeah.
And so also talk about how much you look to Nick and Nate Diaz's career and want to emulate what they're known for. Anything that you want to emulate?
I was kind of saying this to somebody the other day. I want to like have their style, but I want to get a piece of like everyone's style that I like, kind of put it in a box.
Sure.
I want to be as durable as they are and how they're just so long lasting in the sport, but I also want to have some of this guy's style and this guy and just put it in a box and shake it up, because if I try to emulate their style too much, I think it might not work for me personally, because we have different just styles just from the get, and different little body types in a way for each weight class. Like, I want to go 205, I also want to go 185. So maybe if I was 85, I'd copy their style a little bit more, be a lot bigger. But if I'm at 205, I might need to be a little bit more of like a Mike Tyson or something like that. So I got to just think about how I want to emulate them in every fight. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Definitely.
So that's kind of how I think about it when it comes to fighting. Like, I want to do what they do, but to my own like adaptation. If that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and
so that's how I think about it.
And the precautions being taken for the event, how comfortable were you for them the first time around? And is there going to be any changes to that?
For what? For Submission Underground?
Yeah, like, precautions, like, do they take your temperature? What they're doing at basically every workplace.
They did that.
They
did that.
Like that.
There's no crowd, which is weird. They did that. It's definitely weird. Like, there's only like 5 people in the place, in the whole little venue. So
right.
it's odd. And sometimes the crowd's good because it can give you that momentum, that extra push that you don't have. But then again, it's like that. I like having a crowd there just because it's like you get all these eyes and stuff, and people, I think, appreciate it more when they see it live rather than on TV. So I think that's kind of a thing. But like when you run alone, you got to push yourself, or you bike alone, or you do this and that alone. It's like you got to push yourself regardless. So when it's like nobody's there, it's like, in that type of sense, I'm not worried about it. But I do like having people there because I think it'll make you appreciate the sport a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the sport's growing. There's no more fans. So
exactly.
Hopefully it comes back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're hoping that it comes back soon, obviously, grappling, MMA, kickboxing, everything that, we can have fans there and feel the support. So you kind of answered my next question with the no fans, grappling, and, you feel like that the noise that the fans generate, that's going to be a difference for you, because, you get to hear them, and when you see them move, they love, they go, you know what I mean? They want you to go hard for it. That's going to affect your performance a little bit.
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, it. I think I'm trying to find the best way to put it. I think having fans is only can typically be a good thing. Obviously, unless they're booing or something like that, but they won't do that at a jiu-jitsu match, or typically a lot of fights they don't do it. But I mean, having fans is mostly a good thing. Even when I would watch fights on TV compared to live, it's just a different appreciation you have for it. It's like it's just weird seeing a fight live like that than on TV. It's just a completely different thing. So, yeah, I enjoy having fans there. And not having them there, it's not it's just like you're training. You're at practice or something. That's how it feels like to me. Because it's like, no one's going to watch you at practice. So that's kind of how I view it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just different.
Definitely. We've heard rumors of Nate Diaz returning to fight, possibly Conor McGregor at the Fight Island. So, when do you feel like that's a possibility? Is it when, Nate comes to you and said, hey, I need you for this date and this time. We need to schedule it because I got a fight coming up. Like, is that when you're going to believe that it's going to happen?
Yeah, that's true. That's probably when it will. But his knees got to get recovered and stuff. He's got he's got a couple injuries he's just got to get through right now and everything. And he's he'll be back, no doubt, this year. In my opinion, but it's just about when this year. That's really it. I wouldn't expect any time in the summer, but I mean, I don't want to speak too much for him.
Sure.
But if I would put my money on it, it'd be later this year. But I think it would definitely happen this year, for sure.
And you think it's the McGregor fight? That's the one he's most interested in?
I think Jorge, but Jorge or Conor, yeah, maybe one. It's gonna be one of those two, if I were to guess. But I mean, I don't know. We talk about it, but we don't. Like, it's just something like. I mean, you talk about it, but it's like at the same time, you rather just hang out and bullshit and stuff rather than just talk about like fighting all day, because that's what we do when we train. That's when we talk about it usually. But if we aren't training and stuff, like, we just kind of goof off and have a good time.
Have you rewatched the fight with Mazel Tov, and did you see anything in particular that Nick could have done differently? Like, have you broke down the fight in your mind? Not necessarily talk to him, but broke down and saw where Mazel Tov had him in the trouble spots. Mazel Tov had the top position on him, and how it could have been negated easier. Yeah.
I mean, I was there in New York, and I kind of just watched it then, and I haven't really rewatched it since. I just don't. I mean, I remember it pretty distinctively. There's just a lot of things before the fight that happened that went wrong that I don't know if he wants to expose it or not, but just like stuff that happened that really prevented them from doing stuff in training and whatnot. So that's just my only thing, is if Nate comes in like he did for the Pettis fight, where he's just sharp in everything, I think it'd be a different night. But I mean, if you look at it, that's before I hit him with everything. He had his best shots, and Nate was still coming back, still coming up, still coming forward. And I mean, I know it's super cliche to say, but Nate's best rounds are the third, fourth, and fifth rounds. He's great in the first two also, but I mean, he just couldn't. He didn't have from what I remember him saying, he didn't have the confidence typically to do what he usually does in the first two rounds. So he started bringing it up the third, fourth, and fifth round. And that's where the doctor kind of screwed him. Kind of hard. It's kind of hard to describe because I don't know how much he's given out or wants to give out. But there was a lot of things that prevented him from really training to his 100%,
Yeah.
So.
Definitely, man. Every fight's different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Circumstances, stuff regarding it. And certainly back to your fight, how do you feel you're going to come out with a victory? And, obviously there's no fans there, but, get everybody talking about you and get everyone on their feet. Like, how you feel like, essentially, you're going to be able to stop your... Yeah.
I want to do something crazy. I just want to have a cool submission and just get, like, I don't know. I want to just have, like, a cool little, I don't know. I'm not there just to, like, win in overtime like some of those dudes.
Sure.
Some of those dudes just survive to overtime and think they're all tight because they do that. I'm like, no, I want to do, like, some flying shit or something. Get crazy. See a 220-pound dude go in the air would be tight. Do something. I don't want to wait till the overtime. That's boring. No, everyone skips that part of the... You're on YouTube and you're watching that. You skip that.
Right.
Like, no one wants to watch you go 5, 10, 8 minutes, whatever it is, for fucking to go overtime. They want to see something nice and fast and quick. That's just how I think about it.
Your opponent, will that not be revealed next week? Because I couldn't find anything about your opponent.
I have a guy I'm grappling. His name's Adam Fugitt or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not the fighter, but yeah, I just know he wrestled or something like that too. I know he's a brown belt, but I don't know much about him other than that. I just know he fights.
Sure.
Just jiu-jitsu. Like,
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Well, yeah, I got you. Yeah, and I'm sure that you'll probably be ready for most positions that he'll put you in. Obviously, you've been training so hard, right?
Yeah,
So
I train with
he's
high-level
gonna-
black belts,
yeah.
so I'm not worried about really
Yeah.
anything. So, yeah, it'll be good. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, Nick, I appreciate you taking time to be on the Fightlete Report today. Anything you'd like to plug or anyone you'd like to thank, go ahead. And everybody check out Submission Underground, May 31st, UFC Fight Pass. Guys, it's live. It's a live start. Definitely check it out. We're certainly missing that during this time.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it a lot. It was fun talking and everything. And, yeah, I hope we get the win this week. It's on Sunday at 3 p.m.
Well, best of luck to you, Nick, and we look forward to talking to you on the Fightlete Report anytime.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.